ever thought of moving to work in another country? EU citizens can not only travel freely around the area, but they can also go anywhere for work in the region. What if I decide to move? What is going to happen to my social security? How can I feel safe and protected in another country? This is what we are looking at in this episode of Real Economy. Here is a crash course.
17 million EU citizens are now living or working abroad. 12.4 million of those are of working age. That means 4% of Europe's working population live in another EU member state. Are they protected in the same way when it comes to social security compared to those who work in their country of origin? There are four main areas of social security benefits: healthcare, maternity and paternity benefits, unemployment and pension rights. And there are four principles. You are covered by the legislation of one country at a time, so you only pay contributions in one country. You have the same rights and obligations as the nationals of the country where you are covered. When you claim a benefit, your previous periods of insurance, work or residence in other member states are taken into account. If you are entitled to a cash benefit from one EU country, you may generally receive it even if you're no longer living there.
Half of the EU movers came to their current country of residence over 10 years ago. But what about those who have to cross borders on a daily basis to come to work? Fanny Goret travels to Belgium to find out.
I am heading to the Belgium countryside early in the morning to meet Vinciane and her daughter. For the past 18 years, every day she travels 65 kilometers to go to work on the other side of the border in Luxembourg.
Bonjour. It's what we're used to living in this region. We know that taxation is different across the border, that there are advantages. I have a framework that allows me to do what I want, a salary that allows me to have a good quality of life for both me and my family.
Luxembourg is the country with the highest share of European movers, 44%, followed by Switzerland, Cyprus and Ireland. It is also the European country with the highest share of cross-border workers, mainly from France, Germany and Belgium. 180,000 people in Luxembourg live and work between two countries. So how does it work when it comes to social security?
There's an agreement between Belgium and Luxembourg which makes things very easy, in fact. For instance, if I go to my doctor, I'll receive a medical certificate and I'll send this to my health insurance company, and it's my Belgian health insurance company which forwards it on to the Luxembourg Health Service. I decided to join a group. I receive all the information that concerns us about taxes, health insurance, possible legal changes. This avoids any problems.
Work is one of the main reasons for Europeans to move to another country. Due to labor shortage in all sectors, Luxembourg has the biggest number of movers who came here for a job. But what happens if you lose it?
If you take sick leave for more than 52 weeks during a 2-year period, you can be fired. If you're sacked in Luxembourg, you end up having to claim unemployment benefits from your country of origin, so it's not the same conditions. This can be tricky and more difficult.
Despite these concerns, Vinciane does not have to choose between her career and the well-being of her family. Is that the case for all European movers?
I went to Metz, close to the French border with Luxembourg, to speak to a judicial expert about cross-border labor mobility.
When you move to another country, you end up asking yourself a lot of questions. You ask yourself if the legislation will change. It can be scary, but between labour laws, social security and taxation, the area that's easiest, the most harmonised is social security. That's because in the end you have very few steps to take. And from the moment you move around in a country, whether to look for work or to return to your country of residence, European law is fairly well defined. The different administrations exchange information between themselves, and this flows easily, so people rarely end up getting lost, especially when they know who they need to contact.
Free movement allows Europeans not only to travel and work, but also to retire in a different country. I meet Danielle, who has been working in aviation all around the world, mainly for companies in Belgium, France and Luxembourg.
I'll retire in a few months. So the way it works is very simple. Since my last employer is in Luxembourg, it's the Luxembourg Pension Office that will be in charge of getting all the data from the various European countries where I work to set up the pension.
When I retire, I would like to fly away to new European horizons. But in the meantime, the number of workers over 50 years old has more than doubled over the past 20 years. What is the impact on European countries like Luxembourg?
To get the answer, I headed to Belleval, where the Luxembourg Institute of Socioeconomic Research is based. Dr. Franz Clément is a researcher at the Labour Market Department.
It will be a very big problem, not only for Luxembourg or other European countries, but for the whole European Union. We have to mention that because this problem will concern all the European countries, we will all be, of course, concerned by this. Concerning the coordination regulations, they will concern all the countries of the European Union. There is no single country who can make its own policy in this framework in the future.
What are the advantages of labour mobility for the EU citizens and for the businesses in the European Union?
There are all advantages, of course. We have to be very conscious that we live here in Europe in peace since 70 years. And it's a unique case, certainly, in the world. And that's the heart of the chance we have to move from a country to the other, to make study, to work, to make business, to travel. It's really the heart of the whole European construction. It's totally a very big project.
Whether you travel 50 kilometers twice a day to go to work in another country, or return to your homeland after 20 years for retirement, or cross borders to look for new opportunities.
What's similar in all those cases is that free movement would not be possible without protecting social security rights of EU movers and their families. Thanks for watching, and do catch up with us on Euronews and euronews.com.